So let's talk about 2020 for the last time. Why do I do this video and why now? Honestly, I don't know. I don't post enough on this YouTube channel. I would love to. I don't have a lot of content of my matches, unfortunately, and I'm really hard on myself. I always want to put out good matches, and every time I watch back one of my match, it's not as good as I remember. So that's why. Sorry about that. 2020. What a shit year for everybody, isn't it? I had a lot of stuff like everybody who has been put down, and I'm gonna talk more about it. And a lot of things happened. So let's start for the beginning. The beginning of the year was starting to be really good because 2019 was not great for me. Not a lot of wrestling. I could not wrestle in my hometown at all, so I missed that. Luckily, I was able to go back to my hometown in February. I was able to do my debut for PWL in Birmingham area in January as well, so I was really happy to put things back on tracks, and that's when all the shit hit the fan, as they say. So March in Switzerland was the lockdown like most of Europe, and no wrestling at all. I was really lucky to travel at the very beginning of March in England again. If it was not for PWL, it was maybe for Fight Star in Bournemouth, another place I love to wrestle in. And I was looking forward to do more all year long for these two organizations and many others. But pandemic happened, and we had to close everything. As you know, wrestling was shut down pretty much everywhere. And for those who don't know, it's a big part of my life. I've been doing this for 10 years, and the two things I love the most in life is traveling and wrestling, and this year has took that away from me. So it was really hard, and as much as I know I loved wrestling, I always say I need that, and so I was able to do that for pretty much full time all the time. Like, for someone from a country with no wrestling background and history, I wrestle a lot, so to speak. Of course, if you compare to England schedule or American and Canadian schedule, Mexican or Japanese schedule, it's not, but to me it is a lot, and I love it. Always a great time on show, entertaining people, proposing and trying to sell my merch, meeting the great fan all around Europe. And when all of that happened and stopped everything dead on its track, I realized how much I really need this. It's like really essential to me. Physically, I'm doing okay, and mentally was like a shit show for a lot of people, myself included, this year. I realize, luckily, we start to have a good conversation about mental health in Europe, in the world in general. I saw a lot of people discussing this, but it's one step forward to something better, I hope. And in the middle of summer, we had the speaking out movement, mostly on Twitter, but everywhere. It was a great thing to see that everybody was sticking together to try to take the trash out, and a lot of toxic element has been taken out of wrestling. So it's not over yet. I still see some issues going here and there, but we're all working together to make wrestling a better place, and that's good because it's supposed to be a happy place, a happy time for fans and for wrestlers to entertain people, to make them forget about the everyday problem, in a serious way, in a silly way sometimes, but just a cool time to chill all together. And when you have to add this to a lot of bullshit going on backstage and behind the curtain and really dangerous predatory elements, that's not how it's supposed to be. Just because it was old school or it was always this way or this and that, you should not accept that anymore, because we are a forward-thinking society, and wrestling was always forward-thinking. It's like the very first sport to have interracial fights and to have a lot of women exposure and stuff like that. So to see that there is so many people, and sometimes people seen as hero or just face of indie wrestling, um, exposed as the predator they are, it was really rough for a lot of people. And a lot of people, some of my friends as well, wanted to quit wrestling, which is not the solution, because if you quit, the bad guys win. It sounds stupid, but it's just like that. We have to stick together, us, the good people, to prove that we can do better, and we will do better. Myself included. I'm not a role model, never has been, but I know that when I read what I wrote last summer on Twitter and everywhere, I feel a relief that when I party and all that's go with it after a show, I know I have a good conduct, so to speak. And if any of you watching this video feels like I was not right with them, because I know when I drink and when I don't as well, I can be a really intense, weird person. I have a really sick sense of humor, and sometimes it can shock people. And if you've been affected by that, please keep in touch with me so I can directly apologize to you, because it was never my intent to hurt anyone. I just fuck around, you know. If you know me, you know it's how I work. So that's for the speaking out movement. For my personal year, what to say? Yes, not luckily that many flights were booked, but I still have to cancel a few of them, one for Portugal, one for England, and it really breaks my heart to have to cancel that. But I know it's only partie remise, we say in French, so that means it's only for later. It's not like cancel forever or whatever. Especially in Portugal, I had a three-way match schedule against Hendrix and Super Kid, two of person I highly regard as friends and as model, the way they conduct themselves and how professional and good they are in the ring. Hendrix, yeah, I'm not gonna cut a promo on him, but let's say that I'm looking forward to being in a ring with him. That's all I have to say at the moment. What else? England, I was supposed to wrestle somebody. It was not announced, so I'm not gonna say anything, just in case it go back on tracks. I'm gonna wrestle somebody I regard as well really highly, so I was really happy to wrestle him. Didn't happen, so in April I was supposed to fly, give a seminar, and be on a show in Croatia, and it was a new country for me. I was really looking forward to go and visit Zagreb, to train there, to share a little bit of my knowledge, to be on a show. Had to be cancelled as well, so it was really a pity that all in the same time's fall. I know it's nobody's fault, but I still feel really pissed about that, because I was like, the timing is so bad. It was the perfect moment to everything to go right, and everything did go wrong. So what else? Let's put the cat out of the bag, shall we? I only tell few of my closest friends, but it's not really a secret. I was supposed to go to Japan. I'm just gonna say that, in October, and it's not gonna happen. And I was supposed to wrestle in Koraku Hall, which is a big fucking deal for me. And for wrestling, if you know anything about wrestling, Japan or not. So I know it's not my fault. I didn't shit the bed, so it's only for later. But it was supposed to be not my year, but let's say a really good year for Kurt Simmons. And what happened? Barely nothing. I was really lucky when I see some of my French friends or Portuguese or English friends. I was still able to wrestle fairly regularly, every 2 months, for my good friends in Horbas next to Zurich for War. And I don't know what would happen if it wasn't for this show, man. I had a lot of fun, great audience, everything safe, distance, mask, everything. Great noise as always, some merch, and good match. I'm probably gonna put one of them or two of them on my YouTube. And that's about it. The rest was like nothing happened. And I'm somebody patient. I can really like stay in a hotel or just stay in a airport for like 4 hours and just wait for my next thing. I have podcast, I have time. I'm really slow paced like that. But the fact, and that's probably really helped me this year, but the fact that nothing happened for a whole year, man. So yeah, we have to stick together because we're all in this together. I'm not gonna go political, but vaccine is here. Efficient or not, I don't know, but it's still a step forward. And we will see when we can go back to something a little bit more happy times, because for many of us, me include, this year was not happy time, guys. So I'm always joking and try to make light of everything because you have to. It was really hard this year. Luckily, I had my friends on the internet, so I can chat with them. There is you guys, the fans, on my different social media. I grew my Instagram really big, more than 500 now. I worked on that because there is nothing else to do. I try to work out as much as possible. Gym is still open. It didn't close that long in Switzerland, in my area. So I've been pretty lucky, even if it was hard. So that's the year, man. 2 plane tickets cancelled, 2 new country cancelled, 1 big deal cancelled for now. So we have to stick together, we have to stay strong, we have to stay rock and roll, as I always say. Thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well. Stay safe and stay close to your loved ones. Okay, follow your government rules to keep everybody safe. It's not always about yourself, whatever your choice and conviction are. I think it's important to make a effort now so we can be better and sooner, and just we all stay safe. I mean, that's the most important. We are just fighting in a ring. That's not the most important thing in the world, even if it's crucial for us. But we want to go back to it as soon as possible when it's safe. And the more cautious you are, all of us, and the sooner it will be. We can go back to some good old wrestling. Okay? Thank you very much for watching my rambling. That's about it. I just want you to know that I'm working hard behind the curtains for what's next. Merch soon when I sold out the old one. New country, hopefully soon. Back to places like Portugal I miss so much, in England. And back to business when it's safe for everybody, okay? Much love. Love one another. Be kind to one another. And most important, be kind to yourself. I'll talk to you soon.